All right, team, we are focused on the April core values this month. Now, the April core value is all about health, and we're going to break it down into 4 areas. So, let me just go ahead and enlarge this so you can see the whole thing. We're going to talk about 4 key areas. We're going to talk about fitness, rest, celebration, and fun. All of these parts play a role into health. And so, the first one I want to start off with is for the first week is fitness. When it comes down to health, I do think that this is probably the first area that people's mind go to is they talk about physical fitness. But I also want to iterate that fitness is not just about physical fitness, getting out, exercising, and doing all physical activities, which I mean, as all of is something that I enjoy doing. It's a great stress reliever for me. I grew up playing sports, but also another aspect that I think about a lot when it comes to fitness is your mental fitness. I guess I call it your social fitness as well. The way I think you go about doing those things and why it is important is first how you go about doing those things. Like on the social level, it's really asking yourself like how healthy are your social relationships, because I don't want people living and breathing only what they do for work. Like we do need to have some level of fitness in our social life outside of work and away from the things we do. And I know that many of you have probably seen me working online late at night on weekends. If you happen to look at your Slack messages, you may see me online. And I know it may seem like, hey, Terrell doesn't do anything outside of work. And it's not completely true. Now, there is a lot of work that I am doing, but I never expect anyone to work at the same exact pace that I work at. And a lot of times it's because different ideas come to me. That's why you may see me online later. And also, I'm consistently working it. How do I get better at investing the time to make sure that my social relationships are fit or are in shape? And also, when it comes down to your mental fitness, it's how you deal with the reality of what's going on around you, whether that's the reality in family, reality in business, reality in personal life, whatever it is, we do need to make sure, just like you exercise to work on your physical fitness as like your health, is you also want to make sure you work on your mental fitness, because unexpected things will come up, unexpected things will happen. And sometimes we may be dealing with a situation where, whether it's a loss of a loved one or something unexpected, or we have to say goodbye to something that we really love doing. For example, like there was a point in time where like Lola and I had to come to a decision and saying, hey, we couldn't consistently maintain like some of the investment properties that we were holding on to, which we loved them and we loved having them. We remember when we bought them, but just having to really think about, hey, we can't keep dividing our attention in all these different places. And so it took a little bit to really just us to come to accept, hey, it's time to let some of this stuff go and move on. And I think a lot of that comes from being able to prepare ourselves mentally to deal with the reality that we face. And I encourage everyone on the team, just as much as we hear about physical fitness, let's make sure we do not forget our mental fitness as well as our social fitness. I mean, making sure that you're doing what you can to keep those relationships healthy, whether it's family or friends, is take the time to invest in those things, because when we are fit in all of those areas, it allows us to live a more fulfilling life. And we can be more productive and more valuable when we are at work and when we are a part of the team. Because if you're missing one of those 3 areas, then it probably won't allow you to show up to be the best version of yourself. So this week, I want people to really focus on not just physical fitness, but think about your mental fitness, whether that's your spiritual fitness, whether that's your emotional fitness and your social fitness. Think about all the areas where fitness shows up and ask yourself, like, how am I doing to make sure that I am promoting health in my own life, and not just when it comes down to your physical exercise, but everything in every part of our life. Thank you for tuning into another episode of the Golden Age of Business, where we guide you from average to good to excellent so that you can enjoy more success in your business.